When you think of Cambridge United's cult heroes, there's not many as charismatic as Lionel Perez. Nicknamed God with a perm, Lionel's time started with us on a loan spell from Newcastle and finished with a great escape under Roy McFarland. A permanent move followed via a massive pay cut, and time with us under McFarland, Beck and Shaggy followed. Despite the lows of a relegation and a big defeat in the LDV final, there were numerous memories, good memories that would last a lifetime for United fans. I'm Jordan Warland. Join us in this UTAS special as we look back at Lionel's career and, of course, his time at United, as well as plenty of missed penalty discussion. We hope you enjoy this special pod. A very special pod for you today, Cambridge fans. We welcome a cult icon and a member of the Hall of Fame. A very big UTAS welcome to Mr. Lionel Perez. Lionel, lovely to meet you. Thanks for being here.
It's a pleasure.
Should I say bonjour and ça va?
Yeah, you can say bonjour, ça va très bien.
And that is where my very basic school French memory ends. It's all gone out the window. Yeah. Did you? Yeah. How did you find it being a player and playing in England and speaking French? Did you ever swear at people in French if they really annoyed you on the pitch?
Even now, sometimes I swear in English anyway. I keep it, and even in my conversation, so often there are some English words are coming from out of my discussion when I talk with everybody. One moment I have an English word is coming like naturally in my conversation, and then it's my patrie, not as much as French, but no far from France.
Excellent. Well, feel free to swear in whichever language you like today.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to just for the moment I'm in peace. I don't know.
Which players that you used to play with made you swear the most? Is there anyone that you think of in your past that you found that you always had to swear at them on the pitch for they're not listening or something like that?
Not really, because I don't swear about my opponent anyway. Except if they're like, but we did like it's like a punctuation. It's like you are on a pitch and then you have to say some stuff, you have to answer. But I'm not like swearing too much. But and when in every club I pass, I have quite like a good relationship with all my teammates, and then they quite listening to me. Then I didn't swear to anybody else. It was firm. My. I have to dictate the position because I was like the last one, and then everybody responds very well, and I never had any problem on this kind of difference. But I can swear about my opponent, but not by my teammates. That's no for sure. And then if we have to swear to each other, it will be like at the as a half time, like in a dressing room. But not on the pitch. On the pitch, we try to be all close together.
Terrific. So I'm really excited to talk to you today, Lionel. I'm really excited that you've got a lovely glass of red wine on the go. That's really put it in the mood. Going to talk about all things Cambridge United. You had some very interesting years here. Lots of different characters that you met and played alongside. What I'm always interested by when I speak to sort of former players that haven't played or been at the club for many years, I always think if someone stops you in the street and says, Cambridge United, what do you instantly think?
I think Abbey Stadium. I think about my two houses I have in Cambridge. I think about me riding a bike inside Cambridge and feeling like I am an Englishman, and then living in the most beautiful city in England, and then has the chance to live in front of Jesus Green, have the chance to live in Perron Street, where it's like the big one in front of my favorite restaurant, where it was like my friend Fujil, but he died unfortunately, and then. I was living inside the Cambridge, and as soon as you say Cambridge, for me, it's like I am a part of it. I used to be a part of it, but it's still in my heart anyway, because it was like I have two places to live inside, and then it's amazing the chance and the happiness I still have to use these years living over there. It was unbelievable. I was living by the river. I was
Mm.
living in front of Jesus Green. I was like, it was like immense. I met some people from the university, and all these people I met all since I born from Banyol and arrived in England, and moreover in Cambridge. This is where my men and intellectual personality went forward
Wow.
inside me
Yeah.
because of all the relation I've got. Because I had some entrepreneur, I have some professor, I had some uh, people unbelievable, and I was that's my circle of friends. We are talking about football a little bit, but there are some people who are searching. There are some very very bright people, and then they were talking about their experience, their book, and everything, and then. But when we went in the street all the time, they were laughing and he said, "You play football, everybody knows you. I write a book. I try to find some stuff unbelievable and nobody knows my work." But we were laughing, of course. And I was me impressed by these people. And I was like, my ears was like open to just like caught everything I could to make me growing up like a human being and like intellectually as well.
Yeah.
And it's happened. And my mind is open. I wasn't only a footballer. I wasn't like someone who are like open mind
Yeah.
and living with people who have who's not like talking about football all the time. And it was in a very good atmosphere. And it was these people were fantastic for me.
That's amazing. Sounds like really wonderful memories of the city and the
It's
life and
unbelievable, unbelievable. I have the chance to be happy since I'm born.
Mhm.
But I have to say that over there, everything was like in osmosis. My kids were with me. I was living in front. They were like, I remember before in the summer, we were like eating on a Jesus Green. It was magnificent. It was unbelievable. We have like a party, playing tennis, doing like everything inside, everybody on the bike. It was immense.
and do you have similar fond memories of the club? Like, do you associate the club with the city? You know, the you were here for the club, which is why the city was
No,
in your life.
that's it's never happened.
Mm.
This this wedding between one man who were like playing football
Mhm.
and with the city. I mean, perhaps it's just me, but I think that the people as well enjoying me to be there inside Cambridge, and I love it. And we give to each other some attention that we needed, and this kind of life was immense. I said it's unbelievable, but in the same
Mm.
time, when I says that, because Cambridge was I was living inside in the middle of the town, and the Abbey Stadium is just like 3 minutes from my house. And then one day we have a training and we run around and we pass in front of my house, and I was like just saying like, what's happening here? And I was like so proud and just see my daughters and going out to go to school by the corner, and it was like a strange feeling of amazing. But in the same time, I have to say that I feel this kind, but only inside the stadium. I
Mm.
was feeling home as well, not only in Cambridge, but in by chronology moment, it's Sunderland and Stevenage.
Mm.
Inside, inside this, when I was playing for them for this three team, Sunderland, Cambridge and Stevenage, I felt home. I felt like I was a warrior. I felt like I can go to war. I can feel like everything. And they feel that, and I felt that for me. Then we have a tremendous confidence between each other. And
Yeah.
that's made a huge difference with these three clubs. Unfortunately, because I'm not a Geordie and I'm not a Macam. I'm a man from France. And then I know the rivalry and I know everything about the rivalry about Sunderland and Newcastle. But I've got nothing against Newcastle. It's just that the composition didn't work, didn't make it. I
Yeah.
wasn't I wasn't done feeling good inside the dressing room, but it's not because of them, a little bit perhaps, but it's because of me, because I was rubbish,
Yeah.
because I lost my football when I signed for them. I arrived, and as soon as I arrived, I was absolutely terrible. Then I understand that they didn't want to give me any chance. Moreover, if I came from Sunderland, but it's not about for me. I was no rivalry because I was living near more Newcastle than Sunderland, even when I was playing for Sunderland, because when I
Mm.
moved to Newcastle, I didn't move. I was living in Pontydon, Darasol, like all this kind of stuff. I was over there, and I was living in a house unbelievable. And this is where I met my best friends now, which is Tony Renton, which was he was the owner of the house that I bought when I played for Sunderland, and I keep it when I play for Newcastle.
Hmm.
And it was magnificent for me. I was staying over there. And in Sunderland, I wanted to stay, but they didn't want me to stay.
Yeah.
And
Got
then
lots.
when we lost the game uh, in Wembley,
Hmm.
we came home with Tony. He was like living over there, living by the side. He was like selling his house, and he is a Geordie. I mean, he's not a Macam. Then he was like, for the first time, he was like praying a little bit like that, and he said, "My dad is going to move in a gravy because I'm going to be with you, and I'm going to be to Sunderland." And then when we come back from Wembley, we stay home. I ring him, and he came over, and Nicky Summerby and Johnson, Alan Johnson, were with me, and we stay in the house until 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock in the morning, just drinking beer and everything, and just like talking about the game, about like we are like devastated. And at seven
Of
o'clock,
course.
knocking on the door, and it was a postman. He coming to give me a recommendé, and I read it, and it was like. They said, "We appreciate your presence in Sunderland, and then, but we let you know that you are free to sign wherever you want." And then I was devastated because I said, "So
You got
quick."
released. You got released by a letter, not a
Yeah,
meeting or a phone call.
no, nothing. By a
Wow.
letter. In
Is
the
that?
morning after the final,
Oh,
in Elan Lodge, in my house.
is that,
I,
that
I
that's
guess
unusual, right? That's not a
I
normal
don't
thing in football,
know.
no.
The football is not a place for because of course you play with your heart for a color and everything, but when I arrive to it, it's finito.
Yeah.
It's like when it's about money and everything, and then I
Mm.
didn't ask anything, and they didn't propose me anything. Then few days later, I was in France, and Keegan rang me to my house, inside my parents' house, and it was a holding telephone at this time, and he said, "I'm going to holiday. I want you to come,
Hmm.
and before I'm going to holiday, I want you to come in Newcastle and sign for us." I say, "I will be there tomorrow." He said, "Tomorrow is great for me. I'm waiting for you." And I arrived the day after. Because me, I had my house over there. I keep my house. The kids were going to school in Darasol or Pontiland or Darasol, just by the side of the house.
Yeah.
Everybody was knowing me. We're going to the pub, to the diamonds, and then we have like all our life was like ready to carry on. We were like in the most beautiful house I never had in my life and living the perfect life. But my move from Sunderland hasn't been great because deep in myself, I wanted to stay in Sunderland. And I was disappointed that they didn't propose me any contract.
Yeah.
And then a few days later, Kevin Keegan, the legend, ringed
Hmm.
me at home in France, in the south of France, and he said, "I want you to be there tomorrow." I say, "I will be there tomorrow." Because as soon as he heard that I'd be free transfer, he rang me, and I came back the day after in Newcastle, and then, but as soon as I arrived, I didn't feel comfortable, and my experience, my playing football was terrible.
Yeah.
At the training ground, I couldn't stop anything. All the ball was passing. I was playing with the reserve team, and the ball passed under my feet. It was absolutely a
Mm.
nightmare. And I understood that they were a little bit like saying, like, "Fucking hell, this man is
Who
from France.
who
They
are
are going
your
to better goalkeeper than him."
who was your competition at Newcastle? Who were the other goalkeepers at that
It was
time? Was that Shay
Shegiven,
Given? Yeah, I thought it might be. Yeah.
Shegiven, and then Steve Harper.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then after Steve Harper passed in front, because I start, but I've got no. Of course, I felt in Sunderland, and I play against Newcastle with Sunderland.
Mm.
We draw 1-1 when Alan Shearer was playing, and I did a great job. And it was at the beginning of my career over there.
Yeah.
And then I know what is the tension between Sunderland and Newcastle.
Yeah.
But me, I was coming a little bit of outside, and of course, I was 100% for Sunderland when I played for Sunderland. But when I played for Newcastle, we have a problem with no. Shegiven was injured or something like that, and I should play, but it was Ruud Gullit, and he take another goalkeeper, and we have nearly a fight at the training run because I said, "It's my game. You need to give this game."
Wow.
And he said, "No, you're not going to play." But I understand. I understand. I was. He said, You will be on the bench." I say, "I'm not going to be on the bench." And then he said, "But you stay in the stand." I said, "I will stay in the stand then." But we are like nearly. Some people came around and everything. Say, "Hey, calm down, calm down," because I said it was my game, and we were playing like Newcastle against Sunderland, and I didn't. I watched on the
Yeah.
by the on the stand.
That's quite something. I don't think many people can say they nearly had a fight with Ruud Gullit, and obviously he's got such a big football career. As a
But
player, the things he
no, but
won.
it's
Yeah.
not a fight, but we have like big arguments because
Argument,
he
of
was
course. Yeah.
watching me like that, because he's a little bit like, he's a huge man. He is nearly 2 meters.
Yeah.
He's big, and I'm big, but not as tall as him. But I was mental because I said, you take a goalkeeper, and I am there. But okay, for the moment, I show you nothing. Okay, but this is my game.
Yeah.
This is my game. And then he said, no, it's not your game.
And
Don't play.
was that the moment that you realized that you wanted to look away from Newcastle, or did you know sooner
I
than that? Because
as
if
soon
you were behind Shay Given, who went on to become a Newcastle legend, right? It's really thought of as one of their all
But
time greats.
as soon as Kevin uh,
Kevin Keegan.
the manager, as soon as the manager had been sacked after a few games, it was ah putain, je te l'ai dit, comment il s'appelle lui? The manager who signed me
Mm.
is Kenny Dalglish,
Oh,
okay,
okay, Kenny
and
Dalglish.
he's been sacked after 4 games after Chelsea,
Hmm.
and then as soon as he'd been sacked, I knew I was dead.
Okay.
Because it was the only one who would give me a little bit of time to, because he was good, Kenny Dalglish with me. Because before the first game we had to Chelsea to begin the season when I signed for them, okay, 4 days before we play at St. James Park against La Juventus de Turin. And then I did a fantastic weekend. All the week I was unbelievable as a training. And then just before the beginning of the championship of the game, like the first game was at Chelsea away or something like that, and then the last game he played me on the first half,
Hmm.
which means that if I was doing well, then I will start the Premier League game. But I didn't did too much good. And then she even plays the second half and he was good.
Yeah.
Then he starts. And then after 4 game later, he's been sacked. And then now I knew I was dead.
And how is that for a player when you can see in front of your eyes the start of a transition and a start of a path where you're like, I think I'm losing my place here.
And you know
How
that not
how
only
does
your
that feel?
places, it's not only your places you lost. You lost your football.
Mm, mm,
Like that.
yeah.
Like that. Because you're not focused on the football. Because perhaps you think like your place perhaps has to be to Sunderland and
Hmm.
not here because I have not finished my job over there.
Yeah.
And then Peter Reid decide that's not, or some people I don't know, but and then I had a new contract, I earned more money, and I was a little bit thinking like, okay, now it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got 3 years contracts. I don't know. My the mentality changed a little bit. To the warrior, you become a little chicken.
Yeah. I love that line about you felt a warrior and you felt at home inside the Abbey. It means a lot as a football fan to hear that people playing with your team's badge on, it
Even
means a
now,
lot to them.
even now you says that you put my hair up, my friend, because
I mean,
this is real true.
yeah. And what about when you were growing up? Did you grow up a football fan? Who was your team? Who was
I
your
was, I
players?
was, I was nearby Nîmes and Marseille. Then it's the south of France,
Hmm.
and then and I've been like my formation has been in my local, the professional club, which is Nîmes Olympique,
Okay.
and then after I went to Bordeaux. This is where I play with Zidane.
Well, yeah, yeah. I wanted to ask about that. I wanted to
Yeah,
ask about that. Yeah, you played with quite some talented players as at the youth level. Obviously, you mentioned Zidane there. Was Dugarry another one that you played with?
Dugarry,
Yeah.
Lizarazu.
And so they were all what sort of at the start of their careers as well. They're all
Yes, they were
youngsters. Yeah.
22. When I
Yeah.
arrived in Bordeaux, they were 22. They were
Yeah.
young professional. And then I was 24, me. And I remember the first game who Zizou play, okay, because he was my neighbor and we are very close friends.
Yeah.
And then he was playing and it was his first cap in French team in Bordeaux where we were. And then I went with his wife, with Veronique. We went together, you and her and I, to see Zizou playing. And we were
Hmm.
like sitting by the side. And his first game with France, it was in Bordeaux. He went 20 minutes at the end of the game. He was 22, something like that. And he scored 2 goals. And I was there.
Amazing.
And most of the time, they've been like, and I was on the side with Veronique, which was like a missus. And then we are like, jumping like that. And he say what he meant and everything. And after we went, I forgot. I think we went to the town and have a food, but everybody was there. But we are just with me and his wife, and
Hmm.
like watching the game and just like jump like for his first game. And then there's so often
Yeah.
some pictures of this first game of him.
Be honest. When you were 24 and he was 22, and you saw him at the training ground and you played with him, did you
Of
think
course,
this guy is
of
special?
course,
He's gonna
of
be
course,
as big as
of
he
course.
is? Yeah.
He was absolutely special in every aspect.
Hmm.
In every aspect, it was different. He was different. But he growing up as well. Because when he arrived, he was a young boy. He was 22. And he doesn't have the personality and the charisma he has today.
Yeah. Are you still in
What, where,
touch? Do you still speak?
no, we never be in touch. But
Yeah.
one day he has on the TV he has like for his 50th birthday or something like that. And he saw some pictures, and then there are the pictures when we are together for his wedding and then we are close together like that. And then I was like watching his the the TV, and then just I watch my face, 24 years old, just with Zizou talking inside his ears. Then I guess that the family Zidane, it's not like the journalists are coming inside the cupboard to take the pictures. It's them to give them to them the pictures.
Yeah.
Then perhaps it's a little bit cleaner that they still thinking about me because we have like be very close, the family Zidane and the family Perez at this
Yeah.
time.
That's amazing. And who left Bordeaux first? You or Zidane? Who moved on
I
first?
left first because after they were, I left to Sunderland.
Yeah.
I left to Sunderland, and then they have like big European when they go to they kill Milan AC as well at home or
Mm,
something like that, and then
yeah.
that's the explosion. When I left, he explodes,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
he left to the Turin after.
Yeah. So he obviously went on and played and captained for France, won the World Cup, etc. Did you get close to the national team at any point? Was that ever sort of, did
Yes.
people
I had
look
one
at you
moment.
and
One moment I was like that.
yeah.
I was just when I was playing Premier League in France with Nîmes Olympique, my former clubs, and Laurent Blanc was playing with me. And he came back after one meeting with a French team, and he said, uh, they went to see you and they like your style. They want you to take like all the ball and everything, and you should be next months be uh, be asking to come
Yeah.
for the second team of French team, like a prime, like a young one.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
The A prime. We said in French a something. It's like the youngest, and they say you will be Apple with you
Hmm.
and Barthez,
Ah,
both of
but
us. And then it's never happened because it was a manager who wanted to have us, but at the last minute, they change, and instead to stay the young goalkeeper, they take older goalkeeper where they like nearly finished career to give them like a cap
yeah,
for a French league. But this is where I just like at 10 day at nothing I could be like international French. Then I will be
yeah.
so happy to be one day
I was going to ask is
wearing the French, and hear my French national song will be an immense pleasure. But
yeah.
anyway, I
Is
have
that
been in Wembley, and I heard God Save the Queen, and I was like crying inside me as well for when we've been like
yeah,
for the final of against Charlton. And then I have my national team, but it was an English one. God Save the Queen, and I've
yeah,
got my dad and my uncle in front of me, like in a- in a- in a, in a, in a, in a in a stadium, and I
yeah,
watched them, and there I was like that, so proud to be a part of it, and I was singing like with a
yeah.
high voice, and it was unbelievable this moment as well.
That's amazing. I do want to ask about that Wembley game because it's pretty famous, and I remember when you joined thinking back about that game. But a couple of questions before we get to Sunderland. Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Laurent Blanc there. You mentioned Barthez. They had like a thing, didn't they? Did he Laurent Blanc kiss Barthez's head before each game? Is that am I remembering that correctly?
Yeah, but it was for the World Cup that.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
was in England when I was in England. I was still in Sunderland, or I was no, I signed for Newcastle, and I was as a diamond watching the game with some of the players of Newcastle, but we are not sitting on the same way, and we were watching the final, uh,
Yep.
France against Brazil, and at
Hmm.
the end, I remember all the people from the place. They turn to me, they stand up, and they just clap their hands, and I was so and when I was so like said thank you, that was not too much for something, but
It's all down to you that you won, huh? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, because yeah, you won, yeah.
Yeah. As a youth player, did you always were you always a goalkeeper, or did you start outfield? Did you make your
No,
way
I
back,
started
or?
outfield. I was like until 15 and 16. I was mixing goalkeeper and center forward.
Yeah. Okay. Opposite ends,
Yeah, opposite ends. But
different mentalities, huh?
no, it's quite the same. A center forward is a good goalkeeper usually,
Hmm.
and a goalkeeper are not too bad when they play. They're not too bad in front of the goal as well.
Yeah. If you were a centre forward, I have questions then about your penalty taking abilities, but we'll come to that later. We'll come to that later. Just a little teaser for you to prepare because a lot of memories there. So you were in France, Bordeaux, the youth team player, and then you moved to Sunderland. Is that correct? That was your first
Yes.
move away. Did you when
Yeah.
you were a youth team player? Did you ever imagine moving away from France and going abroad? Was it something you wanted to do? Was
My
it
dream,
ambition?
my dream, I am gift and I'm happy from what God give to me, because I will never expect to play in England. It's
Mm,
never crossed my mind because I said it's a level too much. Or I didn't think about that. I wasn't, no, I knew when I started in Premier League in France, l'Espagnol de Barcelone came to see me as well.
hmm.
And I knew I've got Monaco in France, Bordeaux were quite interesting on me as well. But thinking that one moment I will sign and I could touch the Premier League, it was like something unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Every day it was a miracle for me. Every day to feel Roker Park, to feel Stadium of Light, to feel Old Trafford, to feel uh, White Hart, to feel Liverpool, Anfield when they come, like it was like a narrow one, to feel all the stuff. I was pinching myself and I said, are you dreaming, man? I
Yeah.
wanted to show I was sure and strong and ready for the fight. But inside me, I was shooting in myself.
Mm.
But I couldn't show them that I was shooting in myself. But people were just like narrow to me, like, French, they're fresh. Nah, 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 nah. And then, but after that, my life inside the street were amazing.
Yeah. So when you joined Sunderland, the Prem was it was big, but it was getting bigger in terms of
Yeah, yeah. It
its
wasn't as big as today,
profile.
like on a statue
Yeah.
with a training and everything. We are like a little bit.
But it was on the way up for sure. It was getting bigger. The money was there. The players were coming from abroad and so on. Did it when you were in Sunderland or even when you were in Newcastle and you were out and about outside of the training ground, outside of the ground, just living your normal life? Was it noticeable that football was so big and that the Premiership was so big? Or did you feel, I don't know, did you feel famous? What was life like? Sort of just,
It was
Monday to Friday.
absolutely just perfect because I could have my pants after the game.
Hmm.
And except if you are Alan Shearer or if you have like, but us in Sunderland, we were like, because Alan is all the time signing something when we're going out. You understand what I mean?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
for
yeah,
us, it was just perfect
yeah.
because I mean, I talk for, but when I was going out with my friends in Sunderland or whatever, it was like we were like the advantage, only advantage to be known
Hmm.
and no inconvenient because nobody bother you.
Yeah.
Only advantage, they come, they want to take pictures, they don't stay too long, they are not heavy. It was like, it was just perfect, just advantage. Everywhere I went in England, I would never be bored. Even when we was playing in Sunderland in Premier League or something like that, we went out and then after the people you can cross at the bar and say, hey, something like that, and then basta. And
Hmm.
they leave if you are in family and everything. They are not like, except if you are David Beckham. But
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
not David Beckham.
No, you had better hair than Beckham. Should we say that at least?
You joking again. You start to be clever. That's Roy Keane sentence. You try to be clever. And you try to
um,
be clever on this one, my friend.
that's me told. That's me told. So I remember when you signed for Cambridge United, and I just instantly remember thinking, okay, I know this guy from a couple of quite famous moments in your time at previous clubs, mainly Sunderland rather than Newcastle. Like you say, Newcastle didn't go too well, and you
No,
didn't
I
play too
didn't
much.
play.
But
Yeah.
the first thing that I remember, and you've touched on Wembley already, but it'd be good to talk about it in more detail. But I remember you were part of, definitely at the time, and possibly still to this day, maybe one of the craziest playoff finals of all time.
It has
Yourselves,
been like
Sunderland
one
versus
of the best
Charlton.
game.
Yeah,
Apparently, what I heard is apparently like one of the best game in Wembley. But that's a very sad moment.
I was going to say, does it feel like a great game or a memorable game if you're on the wrong side? If you come away at the end, 120 minutes plus
I
penalties
guess,
as
I
not a
guess,
winner.
I guess, you know, I received my letter. I told you already. I received my letter in the morning after the game.
Hmm.
But I guess if you were going up, I have my contract.
Hmm.
That was the discussion with my agent, with Peter Reid, and myself. I read between the line. We won, new contract. We lost, we change.
Wow.
And then this letter had been ready, and you had two later, I guess. One with a contract, and one with you being free to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it had been like one of my saddest moments because I was seeing myself staying in this club and just living in my life in Newcastle and going out in Sunderland or in Newcastle like I've got like a green card
Mm.
because I am French. You don't understand. But I understood really well what's happening about them. But I don't want to go to inside this game because when you are paid for playing football, you are paid for the color you wear,
Yeah.
and then they don't make any uh, sentiment or feeling when they sack me after 2 years of loyal services.
Hmm.
They sacked me the day after. No call. Nobody called me from them. No, the chairman. No, and I passed 2 years like my name might be sending in a Rocker Park and in Stadium of Light. Then for me it was if I have to play against them, I would give everything for Newcastle.
Yeah. Did you did you go into the end of that season with Sunderland and the playoff campaign and the final itself? Did you think that you were leaving the club? Was it on the cards because
No,
you hadn't had
no,
conversations
no,
about contracts,
no,
or
no,
was so it was a
no.
surprise?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, we were in conversation with all the time. We were in conversation, and I said I will have to know a little bit for my kids for next years. I tried Peter Reid, but Peter Reid has a plan. Like I tell you, he has the two envelope.
Yeah.
We will
It's
see after. We will see after Wembley.
yeah, it's the human side here that we don't see
I know.
as football fans, or maybe we forget about. But
Yeah,
you've got
because like all
families
the
and
fan, all,
children.
all
Yeah.
the fan from Sunderland once they're not talking about me anymore. But I've been for 2 years when I was over there. It was magnificent.
Yeah.
It was like it was like Abbey for 10 times.
Hmm. Hmm.
It was the same, but the stand was 50,000.
Yeah.
And it was like even in a second division, we are playing. It was full crowd, between 40 and 55 or 60,000 people all the game, and all the game I've got a song for me as soon as I touch the ball, like in Abbey. This
Hmm.
is why I cannot forget that.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Because they give me a lot, but they forgot me because I went to Newcastle. But they think I'm going to Newcastle for the money. It's not for the money. It's in the morning when I receive my letter of be sacking, and then I've got 2 days after a proposition from Newcastle. What I have to do, man?
Yeah, of course. You want to stay near your house, stay near your schools and your home. It's
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't want to go. I want to stay here.
yeah. Um, some sad memories around that day, but are there some good memories around that Wembley final? The occasion, the crowd. I seem to remember there was a pretty big double save from yourself during the game. Is that right?
No, it's not this one. It's
Oh,
the
is it not
one.
this one?
No, it's the double save is a playoff.
Oh, okay. In the lead up to it. Yeah.
Against Sheffield United Wednesday and semi-final.
Hmm.
And that's yes, the double save is one of my best memory in the career inside a Premier League high level
Yeah.
of and it's just like a fantastic emotion,
Yeah.
fantastic emotion in rock in the Stadium of Light, and
Hmm.
when uh, if I did like an intervention in the hair on the boat, say Lionel, Lionel, and a French flag, and nearly like one game or two, I have my I said na 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 na, na, and all the stadium was saying that, and I was like watching them, putting my arms up and saying. I wanted to say, I come from a little village of France and I'm leaving that with a foggy stuff and a little bit of snow, rain. I was like, ah. And I came back home and I said to my wife at this time, and I said to her, at least you will be there to say that we leave that because I don't have any wisdom to tell what we feel here, what
Yeah.
we live. We have
Yeah.
like it was immense with my national song, French flag. It was immense.
Amazing. That's yeah, incredible. So yeah, the double save gets you to Wembley.
Yes,
That penalty
and in
shoot that
Wembley it wasn't. It wasn't. I felt like during the game we didn't score. They score and they score, and then I felt like something. And then we went to the penalty,
yeah.
and then I didn't stop anything.
Well, I was going to ask, like,
Yeah.
do moments like that as a player, or moments like that maybe as a goalkeeper, do they stay with you? But for for years to
I
come?
remember
Do
all
you,
the feeling I had. I can
yeah.
explain you the first on du premier, the first on the third penalty.
Hmm.
I just went in a right angle.
Yeah.
But all the time it was on the top corner, top stuff, top. And after the third one, when I went like a third one again on a good way, but it was like magnificent. Then I felt in my legs nothing.
Yeah.
And I feel like, that's the power is going out of you, son. I don't think it will be for you today.
Oh.
And then
Do you ever
after, and then we lost.
do you ever think what if, what if I'd got a little bit closer, if I'd saved that one pen, if how the story could have been different? Or do you try not to think about those kind of
Yeah,
ideas?
in fact, we were winning 2-1 after at last 2 or 3 minutes of the game.
Hmm.
And then they are like a corner, and I want to go out, and I pinch one of my partner, and we went on the floor, both together, and a big man from Charlton came and pushed a head in my empty net because I was on the floor with my partner.
Oh, yeah.
And then he watched me like that and he said, "You are going to make losing your team." He was running like
Oh,
that. And I was thinking like, ah. And then we went to the prolongation and then penalty and then it's a part of me like I made a mistake on the goal because I think like 3 or 4, 5 minutes, then we won.
yeah. Do
It was
you
4-2.
do you still watch football? Do you watch?
Yes, I
Yeah.
watch football.
So my question is, when you see penalty shootouts now and you see goalkeepers with the water bottles and the directions and the research and
But
all the
they are
data,
too much. They are too much safe. They've been working hard. These
yeah.
people.
How does that compare to back in your day?
Back in my day, we played against Charlton at Wembley, and I knew nothing about the people who are
Wow,
putting. I knew
not
nothing.
one thing.
Nothing.
Oh, oh my
It's a
goodness.
holding day.
Yeah. The the other thing that I always remember about yourself when you signed for Cambridge, and I don't know if you want to talk about this because it's about conceding a goal, but hopefully you look on it fondly. But we talked about the Prem, and there's a very iconic Premier League goal scored by another Frenchman, a chip
And,
at Old Trafford, Mr. Eric Cantona. Do you remember this game, this moment?
of course, I remember this game. My grandma was there, my uncle was there, and my dad was there. They
Yeah.
came from, it was like for after New Year's or something like that, and they stay home, and then they come by car from Sunderland to Manchester, and then they've been assist at the game with driving on the left. For them it was first time they went out of France, then and go to England, and then I remember this game, yeah. And my grandma in the car told to me that, oh, have you seen? They are nice, these people, because they show you the French flag all around the stadium. And I say, no, grandma,
Oh
it's not for
no.
me, it's for Canto. Yeah.
Oh, bless.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I remember is that his very kind of iconic celebration from Cantona. He sort of just puts his hands
Yeah.
out wide, doesn't he?
Cantona is a
But
Cantona. He has big, he has attitude all the
Mhm.
time, like, this is all right, eh? This is a game of football, eh?
but in this sort of iconic image, there's you in the background, hands on hips,
I
looking
know, yeah.
pretty pissed off about
Yeah, it's
things, eh?
good because at least everybody remember me as well.
Yeah. Amazing. So obviously that was when you were in the Prem and then you played what is now the Championship with Sunderland and then you moved on to Newcastle like we spoke about. But we got to talk about Cambridge. We got to talk about how and why you even ended up at Cambridge United. So how did the move come about?
Uh, you have to understand that there's something is coming from my mind, and I arrived because I was like on loan to Scunthorpe,
Hmm.
because I didn't play for one year or something like that, and then one day Sir Bobby Robson asked me to come in his office, and he said, "Look, you have Scunthorpe for you if you want." It was in the third division, and then I said, what can I do? What can I? And I keep my salary over there. They pay like a little part, but I keep my salary for Premier League player. Then I went to
Mm.
sponsor, and then uh, on loan, and I was going only on Saturday,
So
and
you
we did
only did
well.
you not train? Did you not train with Scunthorpe?
No,
You just
on a Friday, I
yeah.
was coming on a Friday because I said I'm going on a Friday, sleep
Hmm.
over, play the game, and go back home for the week.
How did that work with sort of your team and your defenders in front of you? Were
I
you
arrived and I was absolutely unbelievable. And then everybody loved me and I love everybody and it was very easy. Then after everybody, nobody was bothered for me to come on a Friday
yeah?
and leave after the game. Don't worry about that. And then at the end of the season, we save each other. And then one day we play against Cambridge.
Hmm.
And I arrived in the town and we were eating at the Park's Peace, the big hotel. What's his name?
Oh, University Arms Hotel on Parker's Piece. It was Gonville, maybe.
The one that like right in the center
Oh,
with the park.
with the park. I think it's University Arms right on the on Parker's Piece. Yeah,
Yeah, Park Space, yes,
yeah.
just down my street where I left after.
Hmm.
And then we've been there. We come inside Cambridge and I watch everybody on the bike, like nice shopping, and I'm thinking, what's that?
Yeah.
And I ring my family and I said, I find the place where we are going to be. Like that.
That's fascinating. So you were in Cambridge to play for Scunthorpe,
Yeah,
and you were taken with the town. So what
yeah.
was it? Was it a coincidence then that Cambridge approached you, or was it something
No,
that you
no,
spoke to
I'm
your
going. I'm
agent
going to.
about?
No, no. I'm going to finish the story.
Please,
I was
please.
in the bus. I was in the bus with Consort, and we arrived by the side, by the university and everything. And I said, what's that? It's magnificent. I ran home and I said, I find the place where we are going to live next.
Yeah.
And then I say, you cannot see how it's magnificent. The park is everywhere. It's young, the people, you can feel the energy. Everybody is on the bike and everything, and the pub are full and everything. It's like everybody's outside. It's immense, it's unbelievable. And I played,
Hmm.
and I played well.
What
And
was
we
the
bring
result?
back
Do you
the
remember?
draw.
We
Well,
drew.
I remember, yeah, I remember. And we bring back the draw. And then life carry on. Uh, and it was the same season. And after 3 months, they wanted me to stay in Scunthorpe.
Hmm.
And me, I felt back my confidence and everything. And I wanted to stay, but I say, yeah, I want to stay, but they need to pay me. They need to pay me, and you need to pay me because I don't want to come another 3 months. Or I come to your place, or I stay in Newcastle because it's like too long from Newcastle to go to Scunthorpe and everything. It's middle of nowhere, Scunthorpe is, but I love Scunthorpe because we have like great atmosphere for 3 months. I really
Yeah.
enjoy it. And then they said we cannot offer you like a big contract, and then I go back to London, okay. And one month after, Sir Bobby Robson asked me to come in his office again.
Hmm.
And he said, I've got a club for you. It's one of my good friends, Roy McFarland, and everything. And I said, no, 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 I don't want to play in the third division anymore. And he said, yeah, but and then I turned back and I start to walk towards the door. And he said, but it's Cambridge.
Ah.
And I stop and I turn myself. And I say, what? He said Cambridge, because Roy, I didn't. I mean, he was like an English international, but me, I was inside the football as well, and I didn't know. Like, I got not to know a methodology or everything. And he said, "You," and I say, "What?" Say, "Yes, Cambridge. Why?" I say, "I go back. I sit on my set, and I say, I want to listen what they can do."
Amazing.
And then I went 3 months in months, or 3 months on loan, and of course we have like falling in love straight away, and with Percy, Roy, and my friends, my bloody friends, Ali, who
Hmm.
make like he's you need to speak about Ali. Ali has been a mentor for me, has been a friend, has been a brother, has been a father. He has been the heart. But with Percy and Roy, I've been like, I was like, "Hey, take the key. But but I have my heart for them because
That's
Roy didn't
amazing.
make any mistake. When at the end of the years he wanted to sign me with the best salary of the club.
Hmm.
He knew what I can do. He knew what I could do. He knew my loyalty and my dignity and my will to win. This is why he gave me this contract. But this contract was a part of what all Newcastle pay me my last year's contract. Do you understand what I mean?
Did you took a pay cut to join Cambridge permanently? Is that was the story
Now
at the
that's the
time?
what you want to hear, but it's
Yeah.
not exactly what's happened.
Okay.
It's Newcastle. I said to Newcastle, for example, that's like business. They give me 6,000 a month,
Hmm.
okay? But I am on 40,000 or 50,000 a month. It's a
Wow.
big one. Then you need to pay me the rest.
Yep, I get you. Yeah.
Then in fact I didn't lose anything, and I've got because I was like sacked. Then it's nets from tax
Hmm.
as well. Then I've got like a huge amount of money from Newcastle, and after I carry on my years with them, plus one more years if we be safe, and we have been like a fantastic years with Ali, Percy, and Roy. We've been like unbeatable, and they are like player who like grew up with us, like
Yeah.
the midfielder. But tell me his name. He played in Premier League after.
Is that Ian Ashby?
Yan, he's my friend. He's
Yeah,
my
yeah.
heart. I think about him all the time when he was playing. I was so happy.
Well, he went like to Hull and did every division, didn't he? He went three to
Yes, he
two
did
to
all the
one to
division
Prem.
like
Great
I did in
story.
France.
Yeah.
I start amateur, but low amateur, low little bit amateur. Every year I was doing until I arrived in the Premier Division. I did in 8 years since I'm 16. I arrived at 24, and I had like all the division I passed. Jan, it was a great memory for me. This, and of course there as well. My son, what's his name? Uh, s-
Give me some clues. What position?
the forward, the ginger,
David Kitson.
David Kitson.
David Kitson, of
I give
course.
him everything I have inside me to this boy.
Yeah.
And with David Kitson, he said one of the best thing I never heard about myself, and that's it. Just give me a breath of fresh air. Even now, when I'm thinking about what he said about me, it
Mm.
was the best compliment I never had from a human being.
Yeah.
Never. It was immense what he said.
What did he say?
You should know. He
Amazing.
said, which player, which the best player you play with? The question was. And
Yep.
he answered, it's not only the best player I've been playing with, but is as well the most influential player I have in my team. It's Lionel Perez. And even now, sometime when I'm down, I think about what he said. Because we pass a long time together.
Hmm. Hmm.
And after the game, we talk as well a lot about his ginger hair and everything, about the insult he received and everything. Because me in my family, I've got some ginger, and I was like, hey, come on, son, and everything. But saying this sentence has been one of the best compliment on the earth I receive.
That's
And we
amazing.
didn't talk about that anymore because I just read it. I meet him for the when he received and I received like the Hall of Fame,
Hmm.
but we are too shy to express our admiration to each other because these kids, I give him all the anger in a good sense of the terms and all the attitude to win a game,
Yeah.
and he
What
give
did
me
you
back with this sentence.
Did you bond with Dave Kitson when he joined Cambridge? Because similar to yourself, he wasn't playing a professional level. He was,
Yeah,
part-time amateur, like you mentioned. That
of
was how you
course,
started. Was
of course. But I like him because I like. He was a young boy,
yeah.
and he's coming like behind me a little bit, like if I protecting him all the time.
Hmm.
Ours is like, and we stay at the end of the training. Say, you stay. You are going to train. You are going to bloody score goal. You kill me. Don't say, oh no no, because he has a dream. He was a special man, and I'm a special man. My thought and my philosophy is not the same like everybody. And this young boy has quite the same as well. He has a different perception of life. He doesn't have only football in life. He wanted to travel, he wanted to meet people, he wanted to grow up intellectually, and he had some dream inside his mind, which I love it. And
Do you?
then we've been like very, very close. And this sentence in one of, it's not one of, it's my best compliment I never received from the human being on this earth.
That's beautiful. Do you remember Dave Kitson's debut, his first game for Cambridge? It was Stoke away. I believe we won 3-2. Marcus Richardson also scored, if I'm remembering it correctly. And it was the reason I ask, it was, Stoke were a big team in our league. They were, big
And
stadium.
I
It
think
was a surprise.
is it John Beck who make him come to Cambridge, no?
I think it was, yeah, yeah.
It was John Beck with bring him here with us. But it was like a good time because these moments with him at the training, okay, and he's remember after a few years, and he said this interview when he was playing in the Premier League,
Hmm.
which it was more for me. It was like a big compliment.
Well, I asked you this question earlier about Zidane, and I guess it's the same for Dave Kitson. When you played with him, Division Three of English football, a long way off from the Prem. Did you think, hey, this kid's talented, he could go higher, or was it,
Of course, I
yeah?
said that he can play in Premier League, and I said the same with a little boy when I was in Sunderland, in Stevenage. After he played for Aston Villa, I forgot his name, a brandy one. You are going to help me. You need to find me this man,
So, sorry, this is a Stevenage player
Stevenage player.
that went to Aston Villa.
He went with Aston Villa, and
Lionel, I'm not a Stevenage fan, so I'll see if I can.
I know, but it's Jordi. No,
Let's have a
and
look.
I form him as well. I and
Wasn't
I
a
said to, and I said to them, he's going to play in Premier League. Him.
What position was he? Was he
He was
goalkeeper?
when he played for us, but he finished left back, but more back. But with us, it was number 10 or number 7 or 11.
Kiernan Davis, maybe? That's what the internet seems to think.
Kevin Davids, no.
No, well, we'll find him. We'll
But
find him before the end of
it
the
was
call.
30 years ago, and then 40 years ago. And now he was 17, 18 when I was in Stevenage, and me I was like already 33, something like that. And I said to Graham Wesley, I said, you need to play him. Even when I broke my leg, I said, you need to give the key of the team. This young boy will play in Premier League. And he said, no, no. And Graham said to me after, yeah, you're right on this one.
How do you feel? How did you feel at the time when you saw Dave Kitson got his move to the Prem, or one promotion to the Prem? How does it feel as a former teammate? Is there a sense
It
of
was
pride?
magnificent.
Does it
I
feel
was so
almost
happy for him.
paternal?
Yeah, I was so happy for him, and he deserved it. And when he played for his national team, he played for Pays de Galles or something like that. No, as well. He's been international.
Ooh, possibly. I'd have to check.
Yeah, he's
Uh,
been international, and I was following him, but he doesn't know. But I mean, I don't follow him like every day. But was I heard like, oh, Dave, oh, it's fucking Dave, he's there, man. Come on, son. And I was so happy. And when he said a sentence like he did, it's like make me like, yeah, it was magnificent.
yeah. I'm going to take it back to when you joined Cambridge. So you had that conversation with Bobby Robson,
Yes,
which is amazing to think that he was
I,
friends
I rang, I
with
rang in a bus
yeah.
6 months early.
Yeah. You had that conversation, and he tells you that Cambridge are interested. Did you You speak to Roy McFarlane. What was that first conversation like with Roy McFarlane? What did he say to you? Because
He said me
we
nothing.
weren't doing good at the time. We were in a relegation fight. Like, was
Yes.
there
Yes.
doubt in your mind or apprehension about coming one to a lower league and two?
Absolutely not. Because I
Yeah,
didn't want to go back to the third division except one club.
yeah.
Guess which one?
Well, my beloved Cambridge United. Yeah,
Of course, because I wanted to come to live with my family in a town.
yeah.
I said to Sir Bobby Robson that I won't come back to the third division anymore.
Hmm.
But in my mind it was except if it's Cambridge. And I nearly left the office, and then when he said, but it's Cambridge. And then Roy, after I went on internet and tried to see, and I knew he was a great footballer. But with Roy, it was like instinctive, two animals together. We watched each other, and I knew it was good for me. He
Yeah.
said, "Son, come with me." I say, "I will come, Gaffer. I will follow you. Don't worry."
Thank you very much for listening so far. We really hope you're enjoying our chat with Lionel. To hear the full episode, you need to be a Coconut Tier member. Head to undertheabbeystand.com to find out more details.